Hey guys, welcome to Tidbit Tuesday. Um, Even though it's kind of dreary and rainy, I just wanted to be outside. I just love the fresh air. Rain smells so wonderful. Um, this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about some surprises that that people don't realize about their health care. And I came up with this topic actually earlier in the week. We have a pet that we needed to rush to the ER vet in the middle of the night. And it was really interesting that they obviously that they were stabilizing her. They had to get our okay to do that because they were talking about money. They wanted to get paid. And interestingly, it led me, and then they went over a treatment plan. Basically, she needed this treatment or she was going to die, but they still went through the whole treatment plan and wanted to know how we were going to pay for this. So what people believe is when they have health care, that does not happen. Well, yes and no. It doesn't happen when it's a true emergency. If you're rushed to the hospital with your arm cut off, having a heart attack, they will sometimes ask the person you're with for the insurance information, but they're most concerned about getting you stabilized and getting you out of danger. You know, if you're at risk of possibly dying, they are going to treat you and worry about the money later. But that is not true for everything. So most people understand if they have no insurance that the hospital, if you need to go to the doctor, they're going to ask for payment. They can refuse to see you if you're sick because they expect to get paid. That's why a lot of people go to the ER when they're sick. They feel like they can get treated, but they still ask about payment. Usually they'll treat you in the ER, but it can be kind of dicey, especially, you're going to end up with a large bill. But what I find that people are surprised about is when treatment will happen and when treatment will not happen. There's no hard and fast rule because every facility is different. But my experience has been, and my clients' experience have been, a lot of times, especially obviously when it comes to elective treatment, they're going to require you have a form of payment before they do that. But what people don't realize is some things that they think are elective, or I'm sorry, not elective, actually are, and they can refuse treatment to you if you don't fork over the money. So I will give you an example. Even with insurance, this is what blows most people away. Even if you have insurance, there are places that do cancer treatments that require you to pay any co-payments, deductible, and out-of-pocket expenses before they will begin treatment. A lot of people are shocked by this. And I agree. You think you have insurance that, they'll just file it and send you a bill for your deductible and all of that. No. They actually want that money up front, and they can refuse treatment if you do not pay them. And it's a sad situation, I agree. But it's true, and it's really good to know up front. If you're diagnosed with a cancer, you want to make sure you're able to cover your deductible copay. There are some places, I believe, that will take some deposits. Again, each facility is different. But if you have this happen to you or a loved one, that's not something you're concerned about getting well and getting treatment, not concerned about how you're going to come up with $10,000. That's why you see these people do GoFundMes. But there's also other ways to mitigate that. Understanding what your deductible is. And so you can, some people can't do this, but I strongly encourage all my clients to have your deductible set aside, have a separate medical fund that you can use for things like this. And even just routine stuff. When you have a deductible to meet, you want to, some people have health savings accounts. Not all plans work with health savings account. You could just have a personal savings account that you use for medical expenses. If I'm saving you tons of money on your premium, I expect that you're going to put some of that aside. I counsel people to do this. Set money aside so when you have out-of-pocket costs, you have the money to cover that. Or if it's something that's very expensive, continue to add to this fund till you have at least 10 grand. Honestly, at least 10 grand so that you have some choices. There's also other things you can do. There's supplemental coverages you can get that will give you a lump sum payment if you are diagnosed. So I always encourage people that even have something like that. If you feel like trying to save $10,000 seems either insane or undoable, then I encourage people to get a supplemental policy that can pay you out thousands and thousands of dollars upon diagnosis like that. So it's just kind of an FYI to kind of be aware of what your policy is, what you would be looking at if you do have some kind of critical illness going on, because unless it's life-threatening in the moment, you're going to be dealing with finding a facility that maybe accepts payments or coming up with the money in order to be able to get your treatment done. So until next week, we'll talk about some other things next week, but I kind of wanted to pass that information along because a lot of people just think I have health insurance, I'm good. Unfortunately, that is not the case, and there's other things you can do to help fill in that gap in case you have a major life event like that. So hop on over to my page, JCAP Consulting, and my Facebook page, JCAP Consulting. I'm always posting information on there. And you can always schedule an appointment with me through my website as well if you want to do a consult. Peace out. See you next week.